Good morning, this is Onyabike Adventures. My name's Hawk, and today we're going to talk about some basic pre-ride checks that you should be doing every time you want to ride your motorbike. Now, our bikes get regularly serviced every 5,000 kilometers by the guys at Royal Enfield, and as such they last pretty well and they don't need a lot of work. But there's some absolute essential routine checkups that we do, and we believe that every biker should be doing on the bike either daily or at the very least on a weekly basis to make sure your bike's going to last as long as possible in the best condition and most of all be safe. So today I'm going to go through, quickly show you the routine basic checks that every biker should be doing. Now these checks are super easy, super quick, you don't need a lot of tools and anyone can do them. But you probably don't want to do them stood in the middle of Hoi An. So I need to go back to my house, grab some tools, so it's time for me to shut up and get on your bike. We're going to start our checks down here at the tyres. We're going to check the tread depth and we're going to check the tyre condition and of course the tyre pressure. Probably one of the most important things on the bike. Good condition tyres can really make a big difference to your ride and save your life. So a quick visual inspection of the tyre. We're going to be looking at the tread across the whole surface of the tyre, looking for any irregularities and of course for the depth. You can also check the actual depth with a special tool that you can buy to stick in and tell you if your tyre is legal or not. You can also make the same with a toothpick and mark off in millimeters the required depth. Certainly as a company we don't want to be sending people out on a tour with a tyre that could wear down to a minimum level during the duration of that tour. We do a lot of off-road riding here, so we need that extra tread to give us the traction when we're not on tarmac. At the same time, I'm looking at the tyre wall and looking for any bumps, any irregularities. This tyre is absolutely fine, so we're going to move on and check the pressure. Now, exactly what pressure your tyre needs to be at is up to you. It very much depends on the load you're putting on the bike. If you've got one person riding, if you've got two, if you've got luggage, the type of riding you're doing, what sort of tyre are you using. Your manufacturer will have a recommendation and they will normally print that in the owner's manual, and in addition somewhere on the frame of the bike on one side or the other, but that doesn't mean you have to agree with it. One point on this, you must make sure you check the pressures when they're cold. When the tyre is hot, the pressure will be higher, giving you a false reading. So check it when it's cold, but exactly what tyre pressure you want to run at is something you're going to have to work out yourself depending on the conditions that you're going to be using. So now we're going to check the oil. There's only two things that matter here, the amount and the colour. Most modern bikes have a small window at the bottom of the engine. If they don't, then they're going to have a dipstick somewhere on the top of the engine. If you've got a window, very simple, there'll normally be some lines drawn on the side. You may want to use a torch. I've got one here in the window there. You can see the oil's a nice colour and we've got plenty of it, so that's it, job done. Our bikes do get serviced regularly and they get an oil change every service, so we very rarely have any problems. If you've got a dipstick, you're going to want to take it out. Should be able to do that by hand. You may need a set of pliers. Take a look at it, wipe it clean, put it back in and take it out and check the level again. It is important you check the oil with the bike in an upright position to not get a false reading. Remember, the darker the oil is, the older it is, and when it gets really black, time to change it. Even if you haven't hit those recommended kilometers or miles, it's always worth doing an oil change to keep your engine in tip-top condition. A quick visual inspection of your brakes. At the back here I can see quite clearly there's a lot of pads left, they're fairly new. Quick spin of the wheel, make sure the disc is not deformed or warped in any way, which could potentially happen. A quick look at the brake line to make sure there's no kinks or obvious problems, particularly on the front brake hose. You could have got something that hit it hard, maybe a rock from the road, and caused some sort of fracture in it. And of course a quick check of the fluid level. You've got a fluid maximum and minimum there that you can see, and the same at the front here. Visual inspection, and again check the fluid up at the reservoir where you should have a little window. Again, regularly serviced bikes, this will be done at service intervals anyway. Checking the chain is an essential job before you ride your bike. If your chain's too loose, it can come off the cog, particularly on off-road conditions. It can also affect the amount of traction you're getting and the performance of the bike. So we're going to do two things with the chain. We're going to check its visual condition. As we run it round, we're looking for any strange kinks, any unusual shaped links. And then secondly, we're going to check the chain tension. Now, typically you would check the chain halfway between the front and the back sprockets, and you're looking for the distance that it moves. Now, ideally you want to check the whole way around. Now, what you're looking for is the tightest position, and that is where you're going to check the actual chain tension. So once you found that tight position, let's say it's there, you're going to refer to your owner's manual, or again there may be a sticker on the swing arm that'll give you the tolerance for how far that should move. So you take your tape measure, put it up against your swing arm, simple as that. What you would then do is go around to the loosest position and check at that point. Again, you can very easily, with a couple of spanners, undo your wheel nut, adjust your chain tension until you're happy with it. Very important that you do check the chain all the way around though, so, particularly when chains are older, they don't wear out evenly. Second job is to make sure your chain is adequately lubed. Now, you've got lots of options for different types of chain lube. As to what you're going to use, that's up to you, but it's very important your chain has some lube of some kind. Don't let it get too dry, else again it's going to wear out much quicker than you'd like and have a risk of breaking while you're on a ride. Moving on, before we actually are fully done, we just want to check that all our lights are working. So check your brake light, check your running lights, and check your indicators are working front and back before we go out on the road. So guys, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the like button. And if you want to know more about Vietnam, if you love motorbikes or you just need to see more of me, all you've got to do is subscribe to the channel. So thanks for watching. Time for me to shut up and get on your bike.